Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday Mike Talk. Thank you guys for being with me today. Hope you're well. As you can see, it's a beautiful day here, and this is our final day, Lord willing. By the time many of you see this this evening, we'll be back in the 309, back in the synagogue, ready to do more ministry in local, right? I hope you guys are well, praying for you all. Text prayer to that number on the screen if you have specific prayer requests. We'd love to do it. Also want to encourage you to go to songandsword.com, hit the donate button. I try to give this weekly kind of encouragement. You can give weekly, you can give monthly, you can give whatever system you want to set up there. You can give a one-time gift. It just says we're partnering with Song and Sword. It's the way that God does his ministry through us, and your support is so appreciated. We're thankful for every gift. So God bless you guys. I'll update you on the building here in the next couple days. For sure Sunday, if you don't have anything standing in the way, Sunday I'd love to see you at the Chateau at 9 and 10:30, and so we can hang out and do church there. And what else do I need? Oh yeah, it's Baptism Sunday. I need some more coffee. That's what it is. Just burned my tongue, but other than that, I'm good. It's Baptism Sunday, so if you want to be baptized, you know someone who does, or if you know someone who maybe needs to and they don't know it yet, then Sunday will be perfect for you because we'll offer an invitation. We'll do some baptisms, all right? God bless you guys. I want to share a simple proverb with you today. It's actually not from the book of Proverbs, but it's the same guy that wrote Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. It was written by Solomon the king, the son of King David, and he was given great wisdom. And so he writes this book, Ecclesiastes, which is kind of I call it a midlife crisis for Solomon. He's trying to figure out what life is all about. But he's got this proverb, this really small little wisdom saying, right there in chapter 4, verse 13, Ecclesiastes 4:13. We'll just kind of chew on this verse today and let the Lord use it for speaking to us today. Ecclesiastes 4:13 says this: "Better a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who no longer knew how to take advice." I'll chew on that just a moment. A proverb is something you're supposed to meditate on. Better a poor and a wise youth than an old and foolish king who no longer knew how to take advice. We wonder if this is kind of self-autobiographical. If Solomon's writing about himself, if he's realized something about his wisdom, that in his old age, he's less likely to take advice. He's less likely to hear a word from someone that says, let me give you some wisdom. And I think this is an old age thing. And again, I don't know how old you are, but I do know that there are some things that happen in old age that make us less likely to take advice. I think the wisdom of the youth here, even though you're poor, even though you're young, you may not have all the advantages, you're wise if you're willing to listen to other people. And this is a good scripture for us today because very few people are willing to take advice no matter how old they are. But I think as you get older, or maybe in this culture that encourages us, there's a couple of reasons we don't want to listen to advice. And the first one is the worst one, because we think we know everything, because we think we know it all. And I suppose the older you get, the more you think you know everything, and so who wants to listen to what somebody else has to say? It's hard to listen to opposing voices. It's hard to listen to people that you don't think are as smart as you are. And if you think you're smarter than everybody, well, then you see the problem there. Solomon says, I have all the wisdom in the world, but it'd be a foolish thing, an unwise thing for me to no longer take advice from other people. So the first reason that you don't take advice is that you think you know it all. The second reason is kind of similar, but you look down on how much other people know, right? You don't respect other people's opinions and other people's viewpoints. Now listen, I'm not saying that you should take all the advice in the world. There's certainly, because of the advent of social media and everybody gets to be published, there is a lot of bad advice out there. But I think we should generally look at other people, especially Christian brothers and sisters, and say, well, if they have the same spirit as I do, and they've had some of the same experiences I have, then listening to them probably not going to be bad, because it's the same spirit and they have some wisdom and maybe they have a different perspective. So I think these two things are really good for us to think about today. Are you the young and poor person who is wise enough to take advice, whatever that looks like? Or are you so old and so set in your ways and so stubborn that you no longer know how to take advice? Maybe today a good spiritual practice several times would be to ask people for their opinion. Maybe it's a spiritual struggle, maybe it's a spiritual challenge, maybe it's a spiritual decision. Maybe today, the best thing we can do to learn about being like Christ is to ask for wisdom. Ask someone to give their perspective. Don't go through this day thinking you know everything, because the truth is nobody knows everything, except there's one human that lived on this earth that knew everything. His name is Jesus. And besides him, you and I fall way far behind in terms of knowing everything. It's just a good thought for us today. Let me read this proverb again. It's a good thing for us to practice. Better a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who no longer knew how to take advice. God bless you guys. See you soon.